So today let's talk about the elephant in the room, not to be confused with the elephant in the room, but let's talk about the Hemi motor and its return. Dodge, Stellantis, Ram, they all have previously officially announced that the Hemi was over. It's discontinued, not coming back. Moving on to twin turbo 6 cylinders, moving on to EV, moving on to bigger and better things, different things. I don't know. Let's talk about some of the hurdles and changes that we're up against. So I am a TRX owner. Now, I did not buy a final edition or last call or any of that, but I did buy a TRX, and it was always a dream truck of mine. And I will say the retirement of the Hemi played a large role in my decision on when I bought my truck. Now, I did buy it with a little bit of hopes that if the Hemi disappeared and never came back, maybe it'd be worth more. Now, having said that, I didn't buy it as an investment, so don't crawl at me for that one. But maybe it'd be something different. Well, in true Stellantis fashion, I should have known better, because it probably just means something bigger and better is coming. Remember the story, The Little Boy Who Cried Wolf? I don't know that I would ever trust buying a final edition anything Stellantis product. I don't mean that negatively, but let's think about it. Hellcat Durango, I think there's 3 or 4 final editions of those. Those things came back how many times? Last call Challengers and Chargers with the Hemi? Well, I think we're going to see that again. Last call TRX. That was a $120,000 truck for that last call TRX. Nice last call badge on the armrest. Last call splash screen up on the dash. TRX is coming back. Last call 392 Wrangler. That came back. Oh, but you don't get a toolkit and you don't get a hoop bumper on the second last call. Are you one of these that bought a last call and did you get stuck with it? Did you buy it for the intent that maybe it was going to be worth a few bucks? And now maybe it's not because there's 2 or 3 other editions after it? I'm curious, comment below. Let's talk about the Hemi though. So how about the poor soul in Wisconsin who released this email, and maybe it was intentional, I don't know. So whether this email was intentional or not, there were a few things we can take away from it, and there are some things that we can confirm now that are accurate. But the email talks about Ram coming back to NASCAR. So if you're into NASCAR, you can check that out. But I think the more important part of this email is that the TRX is coming back, and it will have a V8. Now, the previous TRX has 702 horsepower. So quick side note on that. It has the same motor as the Hellcats, which have 707 horsepower, but because of all of the airbox and air ducting to keep it watertight on a Ram, you lose that extra 5 horsepower. But at any rate, speaking of horsepower, rumor is the TRX is coming back, and it's coming back bigger and better. So is it going to be 717 horsepower? That number's been teased. I don't think the few extra horsepower there is going to be earth-shattering to make somebody want to come back, but the Hemi will. However, there's talk about using the red-eye motor, which could be 797 horsepower. And that's almost another 100 horsepower in the TRX, which is insanely fast for the truck it is already. That's a lot of horsepower, and what a grand entrance that would be. And they would definitely own the title again that the Raptor R took away from them. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think it's coming back with 797 horsepower? So rumor is that the TRX is going to be the reintroduction. It's going to be the injection of the Hemi back into the line. That's going to be the first one we're going to see bring the Hemi back. I'm curious if that'll be a factual or not, but no less, I think it would be a great way to bring it back in. But let's talk about the Hemi in the 1500 and maybe the more price point Ram, or the Ram that maybe you're truly after. And let's be realistic. The TRXs aren't huge moving trucks for the dealers. It's an awesome vehicle, but dealerships sell 1 or 2, not the dozens and dozens in a month. So the Hemi back in the 1500 Ram is probably even more important. So the 5.7 liter is supposedly, I guess it's been confirmed. I don't know. I'm to the point where I believe it when I see it. Kind of like in Chicago when they say we're going to get 10 inches of snow and they're like, it's here, it's coming, and it doesn't show up. I'm kind of that way right now with what's going on in Stellantis. And I don't mean that negatively. There's a ton of positive stuff coming out of Stellantis. I just think that there's so many balls in the air that are juggling right now. I'm curious to see what ones are going to get caught. 5.7 coming back, but there's also rumor that we might see a 6.4 liter in the Ram 1500. Now that would be an interesting one. That'd be new. Speaking of 5.7, I love the 392 Wrangler, but let's put the 5.7 motor in the Wrangler. Let's put the 5.7 motor in the Gladiator. They've been teasing that. Again, juggling balls. I don't know what one's gonna get caught, but let's put an affordable V8 in the Wrangler. The 392 is awesome, but not everyone wants a $100,000 V8 Wrangler for performance. Maybe they want that V8 Wrangler for off-road. Would you be a buyer of a V8 Wrangler? We've been drooling over that for a long time, and they did deliver it with the 392, but they almost over-delivered it. And if you've never driven one, it's just awesome. But a 5.7 would be a heavy hitter, be a home run in the Wrangler. We also did a lot of video on the Ram extended range EV Ram Charger truck, which we did a video at the Chicago Auto Show. We talked a lot about the technology. I think it's a great platform. I think it's going to be huge. And rumor is that the Ram Charger truck has come in front of the Ram Rev, which is the full EV truck, which I think is a smart call. Not everyone is ready for full EV. I think the Ram Rev, I think Ram was really smart actually in delaying, whether it was intentional, I think some was, maybe not all of it was, in delaying their process of getting an electric Ram on the road. In my opinion, the only other person that did a electric truck right was Chevy. Huge range, great truck, and again, I think the range takes it home, but I think that's where the extended range Ram Charger is gonna really shine. But no less, that's what's coming for Ram. So back to Dodge real quick. We know this twin turbo 6-pack is coming in the Dodge Daytona, which right now is full EV. We'll see that later this year. Again, someone says we know that the Hemi fits in that platform as well, so that'll be interesting. Will we see a Hemi back in a Dodge Daytona? Kind of a betting man. I'm kind of gonna say yes, but again, we're juggling a lot of things right now. At the end of the day, there's a ton of changes. If you bought a last call, my condolences. Fortunately, I bought a TRX. It is not a last call, so I don't feel like I got slighted. But it's back. I will be a little jealous if it does come out with almost 800 horsepower. On the same token, I'm sure the price tag is going to come along with it, so that'll be interesting to follow. But what's your thoughts on the Ram truck? What's your thoughts on the Hemi returning? I think at the end of the day, whether you want a Hemi, whether you want an EV, whether you want, a 6-cylinder, the key here for me is the freedom to choose. And I think that's where, Chevrolet's done a great job. They still have a V8 truck. You can still get a 4-cylinder truck. You can get an EV truck. You can get it all. So whether you're not a Hemi buyer or a V8 buyer, the option is still there. And I think that's what we need to go back to. We need to give the customers the choice of what power plant they want. And will the Ram TRX be the keystone vehicle herding in the rest of the Hemi product? I guess we'll find out soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. We'll see you on the next video.